Yeah. Okay, we'll just straight dive into it. So don't worry about me having a heart attack. Obviously, everyone in the chat that last game was like, Sohan's still trash, are going to come back and say, see, I told you so. Like, you saying whether or not I'm just talking to the chat here. If this is on YouTube later, I'm talking to the chat. So the people coming in here to say, oh, you're reactionary when Sohan does well. That's not true. Reactionary to me, if Sohan does well, is me coming in and saying, oh yeah, he's going to be a star. He's a superstar. He's phenomenal. You guys don't know. That's not the point. My point consistently has been, regardless of the stats, Sohan brings something to the team. Now today, hold on, I have to actually do it like manually. My stream deck isn't working. Today, the team was horrible. It was god awful. Everyone was awful. Everyone was terrible. I don't look at him for the stats. I never have. I don't care. Just because 2 points. I never done it. You can go back to look. Okay, guys, actually pay attention, because now I'm getting angry. Actually pay attention. Every single game that he does well, we will look at the stats, and I say this every single time. I've been consistent. I will say, even if he had 20 points, 20-something points, I will say he played really well. He did his thing, but I don't care about the stats. I only look at the stats after the fact. I've been so consistent with that. I don't know why you guys come in and like want to tell me, well, look at his points. Look at this. Look. I don't care. I don't care. You're the ones that's reactionary. Every single time I've told you and been very adamant on what I believe Sohan brings. I've been so like consistent with this. He brings a lot of defense. He's more of a connector. Today he didn't play well, but I don't care. I don't care about the stats. He's not that type of player. He's never been that type of player. That's the thing. He's never been that type of player. And everyone coming in to say, well, obviously Sohan lost his game. He didn't play in the fourth quarter. He didn't play well. No one on this team played well. Let's just be real. No one played well today. But he didn't even play in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter is when things got really out of whack. I don't think he played in the fourth quarter. Wait, let me make sure. Let me make sure. I don't want to like lie to you guys. I'm pretty sure he got subbed out at the beginning of the fourth and he didn't play at all. And it was like a massive run that the Pacers went on. Let's see. Control, fine. Yeah, beginning of the game, Vic came in because we had to play Sohan at center. I also wonder if he has some, if his injuries were bugging him a little bit. Because it's unlikely, even though he played really bad in the third, it's unlikely that the coaching staff wouldn't utilize him at all in the fourth. So I wonder if he had like some tweaks once we got to the fourth. Anyways, so we'll talk about this game. We'll sponsor this one, all right? So big shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. So we'll talk about the game, talk about BetUS briefly, and then I guess I'll just keep reacting to chat a little bit. But anyways. Yeah, so this is not one of those games where you guys don't have a point. That's all I want to say. You don't actually have a point. Like, you want to come in and say, well, Sohan played horrible. See, he's trash. See, you don't have a point. Especially since I've always been consistent. And if you actually pay attention, I always preface every single game, whether he does well or bad statistically on the stat sheet, that I don't care. I don't care. He's not that type. He's not that type of player. You're not even with his defense. I think that he's I say that with confidence. I think he's the second best defender on the team, behind Wemby. And even then, I don't look at steals and blocks. He gives really good contests. He forces the issue. He forces things to happen, but he doesn't necessarily get the turnovers himself. And that's fine. You just don't know what you're talking about. Gunther, you don't know what you're talking about. You just don't. I rarely say this, but yeah, you don't know ball, man. You just don't know basketball. If you watch these games and you think that Sohan is someone that you need to get rid of, you just don't know basketball. This whole game, I don't even know if you watched the game. This whole game, everyone on the team was pretty poor. Everyone made some questionable decisions. I wonder if Wemby was tired at all. He didn't seem tired, but defensively, it was quite a few times where he overcommitted, get into the trying to protect the rim, where his teammate had it and wide open threes constantly. Because it seemed like Pacers were hitting every single three. Let's see what the threes look like. Guys, they took 102 threes. No, they didn't take 102 threes. There's no way. There's no way they took 102 threes. They took over 100 threes. There's no way. It felt like they were hitting everything, but there's no way. Okay. I'm like, what? Okay. Oh my God, I almost had a heart attack. Okay. Ooh. All right. They didn't. Okay, that was just a field goal. Okay. Woo. Dude, I was going to lose. I was like 102 threes. How the heck? Okay. All right. That makes more sense. They took 39. But they were hitting everything. They shot 43% from three. Nearly 44%. So, we also gave them a lot of open looks. So, yeah, this is not one of those games where you can blame one person. The plus minus doesn't really work with this one, specifically because, you know, Devin Vassell had a negative 30. Obviously, we want him on the court. I still wish he would shoot more than this. We need you to get to that 16. I always say that, but whatever. He was negative 30. Obviously, Sohan was a negative 30. Trey Jones was a negative 30. Now, the biggest reason for that is because it seemed like the Spurs had to put Sohan at center, and this was just a really tough matchup, especially how well the Pacers were playing. So we had to force him to center. I mean, he was out there with Trey Jones. It just wasn't great. He barely played as well. But the fourth quarter in particular, that's when things completely fell apart. I think when Sohan got out of the game, we were down by 10 to 12, whatever. Not great, but Spurs were in the game. You can see quarter to quarter, 33 to 24, 32 to 26, 33 to 36. And then the fourth was just like, good God, guys. Look at the fourth. If we go to the fourth. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see, we're down by about 14, which you can still come back. 12 minutes left in the fourth, you can still come back. And then they just kept opening it up. Tip shot, Julian 3, TJ McConnell makes a 2-point shot. Steph Castle made a 3. So we're still in this thing. We're still in this thing. And then it eventually just kind of fell apart. You see, when did it start opening up? I think right here. The 2 free throws, 2-point shot. Yeah, so Siakam made a dunk. Julian Champagnie turned the ball over. Felt like a lot of turnovers this game too. Mamu missed a 3. TJ 18-foot pull-up jump shot. Another thing too, and I've said this before, and we got to say it again, right? I feel like sometimes the Spurs start to, like, they attempt to shoot themselves out of situations. And I don't think that this game was any different. So you can see Mamu takes a 3. And then I think Wemby took a 3. Yeah, and then Wemby took a 3. And then Steph Castle got blocked at the rim. He's the only one trying to force the issue. We got a full timeout. Harrison Barnes comes in. Harrison Barnes misses a 3. Chris Paul misses a 3. Steph Castle missed a 14-foot pull-up. Devin Vassell misses a 3. You see why this becomes an issue? Because the Spurs attempt to play to their competition. So Pacers are shooting very well from 3. And rather than us trying to grind it out and not skip steps, we instantly went into 3-point shooting mode where everyone has to try to take a 3 so we can keep up with the Pacers. And they just completely destroyed us. They just completely opened it up. And there was no looking back. So that I think that's what happened with the fourth quarter. I don't think it's one player's fault. I think it's more so just our team as a whole was playing very young. But, those demons came up again. They still haven't fixed that. Said it's Mitch again. Kind of, yeah, you're skipping steps. And like I said, as poorly as, because that third quarter was horrible with Sohan. Horrible. I think at the end, it was many turnovers. Where is it? Am I tripping? I know he did. That was in the third, right? Wasn't that near the end of the third? Maybe I have to, because I know he got a couple good offensive. or a couple good rebounds in there. But let's see. And like I said, you got him playing at center, backing up Wemby, and like, I don't like that. Let's see here. I don't know why I brought that down. So, all right, he entered the game. Really bad performance. All right, wait a minute. What? Okay. What's going on here? Oh, they're not showing his name anywhere else, but these, I don't get it. Oh, okay. So actually a big chunk in the third quarter, he was just like trying to survive. No, Wemby's out there with them. Oh, no, he's not. Sohan isn't in the game. He came in at the end. Okay. Yeah, he entered the game for Steph Castle. And I'm pretty sure... Okay, Wemby was out there. Let's see. So he entered the game for Steph. He missed a 2-point shot. Then he had an offensive rebound. He missed a 6-foot tip shot. I'm pretty sure he has some bad passes in there, too. Might just be missing it. Oh, my goodness, Mikasa. We can't do that. We can't do that because you're going to hit a button. Hold on, girl. You're going to hit a button. You're going to mess something up. Come on. Can't do that. No, sorry. Okay, we're back. But yeah, anyways, pretty bad. But the team as a whole was pretty bad. And I do think that you have a better shot if you have Sohan out there in the fourth. But unfortunately, I don't know if it's the injury or what was going on there. But everyone was bad. And it's a really weird, and I understand. It's a really strange, like, situation you're in when someone has an injury or is coming off of an injury. Because if they do super well, like, you need to praise them for that because, like, you don't expect them to do that well, right? But then if they do really poorly, it's kind of like, oh, you're making excuses. Oh, he has a, an injury. You're just using that as an excuse. So it's like, it's kind of a weird situation you're in when it comes to that. You know what I mean? It's like a middle schooler. Like, if a middle schooler took college courses and did well on one test and failed the other, the time they did well on the test, you were like, oh my goodness, that was really impressive. They're at a disadvantage, right? They're at a disadvantage, but you're like, oh, they did very well. And then if they fail it, then it's like, well, you're a middle schooler, And I feel like it's the same thing with injuries when you're coming off of them. But I don't know. Mitch said it wasn't an injury. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at well, if it's not the injury, then yeah, that's coaching. That's undeniable. I was being charitable. That is coaching for you right there. I'm sorry, guys. As poorly as he played, the whole team. Okay, it'll be one thing if the whole team was playing bad, right? Like, I saw somebody bring up Keldon. Keldon is so annoying. Keldon's defense is abysmal. It's god awful. It's really bad. It's not good. But it's like that with all the it's not like that with all the players, but everyone played pretty poorly today. I would excuse it if he sat the entire team, like, and says, screw this, Malachi, Blake, get in there, Zach Collins, whatever, go out there, give us a little bit of energy, and then we switch out our guys again. I'm okay with that. Sohan being your second best defender and him playing poorly and not playing in the fourth, and it's not due to injury, but then everyone else just plays even though they were playing horrible. I mean, it was turnover galore. Every turnover was ugly, bro. Wemby had 4. Barnes had 3. Chris Paul had 2. Everyone gave you 1. Devin gave you 1. Steph Castle had 2, which it could very well be more than that because some of his shot selection was pretty bad. Julian gave you 1. Sohan gave you 4. Keldon gave you 1. Trey Jones gave you one. I mean, everyone was giving you a turnover. Like, okay, then just sit everybody. Screw it. Just screw it. Sit everybody. But like just purposely putting yourself at a disadvantage like that in the fourth was wild. Guys, you need to recognize this. Understand this. The Spurs lost the fourth 38-12. That's basically 40-10. 38-12. Regardless of what you have to say about this game and how one individual player, like you guys know how I feel about, Keldon's performances, but like I would never just put this on Keldon. Keldon isn't this. This isn't one player. This is if you have the defense available, even if that player is playing poorly, if you're playing everyone else, you play them if it's not due to injury. You play them. There's no ifs or buts about this. You play them. I don't care how bad Wemby's playing. I don't care how bad Devin's playing. Unless you're going to sit them. If you're going to play them, I don't care how bad some of these players are playing. If they're not injured and they can go, and you're having this type of stretch in the fourth, my God, put your better defenders in there. Because as bad as Sohan was offensively, which we're going to see plenty of that in his career, I'm sure we will. Defensively, he's still there. He wasn't he had 3 personal fouls, but the whole fourth, like, okay, let's just make sure he doesn't get more. Like, what are we doing? Wemby turnovers were low-key fouls. I don't know, DB. I think you're coping just a little bit. Wemby was doing a little too much. I'm all for the Pacers getting a little physical, Wemby was trying to be cute. Doing all those Jamal Crawford moves just to result in a turnover. All right, I'll take a look at the chat. Hopefully I don't know. I yapped a lot. Hopefully I expressed myself in a way where you guys can understand it. Basically what I'm saying is this was coaching. And Sohan had a poor game offensively, but like I always say, I could care less. I like to just see how he impacts the game. He's still great defensively. He did a good job. Even if he had a game where he had 30 points, I will sit here and make fun of Sohan haters all day. I'll do it. If he gets 30 points, I'll do it. I'll make fun of you. But at the end of the day, it never really matters to me. He's not that type of player. I don't care. He'll be the type where we get into the finals or we're deep in the playoffs and he'll have a stat line of like 10 points, 10 rebounds, and you'll say, oh, okay, he's not that good. But if you watched it, he impacted the game tremendously. So I'm okay with that. And I have to accept that. And he's only going to get love until, the Spurs start winning. Now, in this game in particular, everyone was really bad. So I think that it is actually insane to look at Sohan and say, oh, it's all on him. It's kind of, okay, I'm about to get nerdy. It's kind of like playing Marvel Rivals, right? I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals lately. And I'll tell you this, all right? In a game where everybody, let's say the team is down the line, is 28, is KD, right? Kills and deaths. So you say it's 28, 26 and 6, 23 and 2, like it's really good percentages, right? And then you got that one person that's like 1 and 11. Okay, I'm with you, right? I'm with you. Yeah, it's not just, It's probably a little bit on them. But when you have a team that everyone played poorly in some facets of the gameplay, nah, this is a team loss, y'all. This is a team loss. But I definitely put it on the coach more than anything. I definitely put it on the coach. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just nonsense. Ruru says Sohan was not. Hey, Ruru, it's been a while. Sohan was not great defensively either. Did you watch the game? No, he was fine defensively. But also, you got him put at the center, which is at times, which is pretty bad. But yeah, I'll be honest, Ruru, I'd never see you bring up Keldon, who is like objectively a bad defender. Like objectively just really bad. Call a spade a spade. No, I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was fine. Lord knows we needed something in the fourth, right? 30. They got 38 points. They got their most. The full quarter where we didn't put in our second best defender, they just ran amok. They just did whatever they wanted. 40 points. 40 points to our 12. Did whatever they want. Julian played horribly. Julian's been a little like iffy. I think he'll be much better when the Spurs get more talent, right? I think you have to utilize him a bit too much. We just still need some more talent around him, and he'll be okay. You know, I don't think he's like a phenomenal defender. I think that before we would say like, oh, he's a really good 3-and-D. I don't think that anymore. I think that he is a decent defender, but I don't think he's a great defender anymore. You said I know KJ is a bad defender. Lies. I know KJ is okay. All right. Maybe you've come to that realization. I know for years it's been like, hey, leave Keldon alone. You did the same thing with DJ. You will tell me you didn't. Nowadays you tell me you didn't, but Ruru, you did. When I would talk about DJ, you would say, DJ's great. Leave DJ alone. You did that all the time. You did it all the time. I love you, though. You're cool. You're cool, Ruru. You good people. All right. Really quick, guys. Really quick. Today's sponsor, right? We can't forget our sponsors, right? It's like absolutely ridiculous if we forget our sponsors. That's just uncalled for. That's ridiculous. Even though the Spurs took an L, doesn't mean that we have to take an L by not acknowledging BetUS. If you guys are interested at all, please check out BetUS. Plenty of different things that you can bet on here. They have a Kawhi Leonard one. Okay, I'm interested. NBA specials, Kawhi Leonard. Is this the retirement one? It's the retirement one. So will Kawhi Leonard announce his retirement during the 24-25 season? If you think he will, money line 500. So risk, I don't think you get too much from that. You risk 10, you get 50. That's fine. That's fine. So if that's something you're interested in, please head on over to BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150. You'll receive 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your second and third deposits, up to $2,000. And also, just something to bring up really quick. They also have a casino as well. So if you like slots or that's something that you're interested in, you can check that out as well. And there is a sign-up bonus of 200% for that, up to $5,000. So just a lot of things to check out. Just letting you know. So shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this segment. Let's take a look at what the chat has to say, because the chat is, chat's crazy. Clan, of course, fans are upset. What do you expect us to do? Patronize the team, pacify them, or sugarcoat it? Of course, we are angry. I don't think I said one time that you guys shouldn't be angry. I'm not trying to gaslight you. I don't think I said that. Did I say that, chat? Rest of the chat. Did I say that? Did I get on to people for being angry? I don't get that. I don't get that comment. I don't quite understand that comment. I didn't say that you guys shouldn't be upset. All I said was, in this game in particular, this was a team loss, and it was so many bad things that I think that is counterproductive to focus in on one person. Like, how can I, with a good conscience, right? Like, all the times that I've been very honest about, sorry, Ruru, I forgot to say, every time I've said something about Keldon, how could I say with a straight face, guys, Keldon Johnson is absolute trash. This is not the time to do that. Keldon Johnson, oh my God. The Spurs lost by 40. Keldon Johnson. Like, come on. That'd be laughable to look at this game and say Keldon Johnson. Like, that's laughable. So that I don't think we should do that for any player. You don't do it for Sohan. Don't do it for Mamu. Don't do it for... It is a full team. This type of breakdown in the fourth quarter, I think, is coaching, and I think it's just a team breakdown. You cannot, with a straight face, say, this one player really... Come on. That's silly. Keldon played 11 minutes. Sohan played 14. Julian played 11. Mamu played 12. That's what ruined the game. That's what killed us. Come on. We lost by 40, guys. The fourth quarter, it was 38-12. Come on. Maybe you have a better argument if they played more minutes. Like some of the people on the bench played more minutes, and then you could see that it wasn't one specific quarter where it just completely got away from us. But unfortunately, that's what happened. The Spurs stayed within distance for a big chunk of the game, and then the fourth was just like, well, now we're playing to our enemy again. Now we're playing their game. Now we're just jacking up threes. We're just jacking them up. Outside shot, outside shot, outside shot, outside shot, outside shot, outside. I mean, we just... And then that's game. Because you can't shoot like that. I'm just not sugarcoating it, and I didn't put anything in his mouth. What? I don't believe in sugarcoating the situation. I just tell you how it is. Oh, wait, you said... I was just pointing out that we shouldn't patronize the team. Are you responding to me saying that they're young? Because that's not me trying to give an excuse. That's just me being real. I mean, I feel like that's being real, right? That's not sugarcoating anything. Here, if you don't want me to sugarcoat it, I'll just say this. We don't have enough talent. And we're young. We need more talent. And we're young. And the coaching has been bad. At least in this game, it was pretty bad. I'm just getting tired of runs like this happening, and we're not doing anything about it. Like that's the one thing that's starting to bother me. Is like these runs will happen, and we don't do anything. I remember one of those games a couple games ago. He said, "Oh, I didn't have any timeouts," which to that I say, dude, throw some gum, argue with a ref, tell your team to foul. Switch somebody out, step on the court, throw a shoe, do something, spill some Gatorade, do something. Don't just sit there and allow your team to just get steamrolled. Do something. Get ejected, do something. Anyways, thoughts on Trey on defense? Trey Jones. Trey Jones is an okay defender, you know. I think he's pretty doggone good for his size, but like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. I haven't really, you know how last season we definitely felt the impact of having Trey Jones on the team. I guess we would just have to look at advanced analytics on that, because right now, at least watching the eye test, I'm not really feeling the impact of having Trey Jones over someone else. I was really hoping this season that Trey would be like a better three-point shooter. Hold on, I might be wrong here. Let's see his three-point shooting. It just doesn't feel like he takes any. Yeah, see? He doesn't take any threes. And that was the one thing that gave me a little bit of hope last season. And with the addition of Chris Paul, Steph Castle, and whatnot, we knew that we would need Trey to be a better, spot-up shooter. But he doesn't take them. He's kind of back to his roots of not taking threes. Like second year in the league type roots. Like he's not taking any. And he's shooting 30%. Where before, last season he was taking quite a few, and 33% isn't the best, but that's not bad. 33 is not bad. Pretty good. For him. Because I think he wasn't that great in college either, was he? He took him though, I think. Oh, his first year at Duke he wasn't good. Second year he was great. Yeah, I just thought he would improve. He should not have subbed all the starters up one with minutes left. With 2 minutes left. Mitch Johnson has been making some questionable moves, if I say so myself. Bring back other music. Dude, there's so many people that like this music, and then you're like one out of many. I say bring back the others. Didn't mean to snap that like that, Clan. I didn't think you snapped. I was just kind of confused. Like, you know, like not sugarcoating. I mean, I wasn't trying to sugarcoat anything. Just being honest. Oh, I just saw your message, Ruru. You said KJ was horrible also. Well, there you go. Everyone was horrible. Did I say Sohan was good this game? I think what's going on, guys, is there's disproportional hate. I think that there's disproportional hate. So because there's disproportional hate, oftentimes I think it's deserving, but sometimes it seems like disproportional love, right? Because there's disproportional hate. So Sohan can have a bad game, and once he has a bad game, there is a frenzy on Twitter and social media that he should be gone and he's absolutely awful and we need to trade him and he's terrible and da. And they don't give him the benefit of how old he is. They don't give him, any doubts. No one's charitable towards what happened. No one actually pays attention to what he did defensively. Like he's like the worst player in the world when the Spurs lose and he has a bad game. Like he's the worst player in the world. Right? So when he does well and the Spurs win and everyone, it's pretty obvious that you can tell his impact. Yeah, I'm going to gloat. Because no other player on this team gets that amount of hate. There's been people that said Devin Vassell should probably be traded, but everyone's not resentful. What's the word I'm looking for? Reluctant, I guess. Like they're hesitant. They're like hesitant to say, oh, Devin needs to be traded. It's like everyone like feels bad about it. Like, oh, he has to be. Oh man, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's gonna work. Like that's how people talk about Devin. If Devin plays poorly for X amount of games. Obviously, no one says anything about Steph. They shouldn't. He's a rookie. Keldon, same thing. Keldon can play poorly, and people can say he's bad, but like no one goes on a frenzy of Keldon's trash. He needs to be. No one does that because he was with this team for a pretty long time, right? Longest tenure Spur, and everyone just hang their hat on that one season where we were tanking and he shot like over 20 points a game. Like people stick on that. So like he doesn't get the same amount of hate. But Sohan, one of our youngest players on the team, he's the one that gets a lot of the brunt. And it's unfortunate because I genuinely think that he's one of our best players. Like easily. IQ wise, defensive wise, like rebounding wise, hustle wise, communication wise. Like I think he's one of the best that we have, and I definitely think he's part of the future. So it really bothers me when he gets that disproportional amount of hate versus other people. Zach Collins gets a lot of hate too. I feel I would say Sohan and Collins get the same amount of hate, but at least with Zach Collins, it's like, okay, he's been in the league for a minute. Sure, But yeah. Say gluck gluck. Oh, dude, you want to? Okay, hold on. Yeah, we're not doing that. Check this out. Watch this. I'm like a magician, dude. It's gonna be incredible. Watch this. There you go. He'll be back next time. Clan the Sohan fan. That's cool. He's about to ban him. No, I didn't ban him. He'll be back in 24 hours. The Spurs need to get Wemby 25 to 30 shots a game in order to win consistently. I don't think that. Nor do I think that that's realistic right now with Wemby's ability. I don't think it's realistic. Also, he's in a really weird spot because he gets double teamed so often, and he doesn't necessarily have the strength right now to like muscle through any of it. He just does a good job of reading it and passing out. What you really want, I agree with you if you said we need Vassell to shoot 16 shots to win more consistently. I could see that. We need him to be more aggressive to win. That'd help. And we're lacking consistent shooters. Yeah, we are. Keldon, I said Keldon. Clan, would you trade Trey Jones, Zach, and Keldon? Yeah. Yeah. Those are very tradables, I think. You know? One thing about it is you got to kind of think of it as what's their market value right now? And would you get the same amount of would you get the same amount that you gave up for them, right? Like, for instance, Jeremy Sohan, what is he worth, right? If you were to, let's just say we did a man-to-man trade, right? Like, player to player. I would say, like, trading Sohan for Tari Eason would make sense. But then you got to ask yourself, like, well, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But as far as skill level-wise, I like both of them. Like, they can both do kind of the same thing, except Sohan is bigger, like, much bigger. And you know, he's as quick on his feet, but he's just much bigger than Tari Eason. Tari Eason is closer to a small forward, while Sohan is just more likely, more so a power forward, a quick power forward. So, like, those two make sense, kind of. But then again, I mean, Tari Eason's older than Sohan. That's number one. And number two, why would either team want to do that? You know, like, would it be worth... Like, why would they give up Tari Eason, and why would we give up Sohan for Tari Eason? And were we getting basically the same thing? I just don't think that there's anybody or any package out there right now where trading Sohan makes sense. Now, if we had some realistic probability of trading Sohan with another player and a few picks, and you get Luka or something, like, I'm with you. Like, yeah, he's worth that. But there's nobody on the market right now that I think is necessarily worth it. One thing I don't want to do is, like, give up one thing for something else. Like, I think a lot of times people bring up, like, this point guard we can get, this shooting guard we can get. Okay, if we do that, then now we got to search for a power forward again. You know, like, the whole point of getting Sohan was to try to improve our big man rotation and also have a versatile defender. You're going to be missing that. We need a small forward right now. That's the most important thing that the Spurs need. But you don't want to give up your second best defender so you can have a point guard who can shoot, you know? Clan Luka is crazy. No, I mean, yeah. Wait, what? Wait, actually, I don't know the point you're making. Luka's incredible. If it was something like that, that would be crazy. Rua said, I'm not trading Sohan for Eason. The F? Yeah, same. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of, like, what player would be, like, equivalent when you come to, like, when you think about what role you would need, but he's not necessarily better than Sohan, I don't think. I think they're, like, I like both of them, but I just don't think that would be worth it. What's the point of that? Didn't I ban you? How did you come back that quick? Just be delusional about trades like Pat. Yeah, didn't I ban you? Now I'll ban you again in a minute. I don't know what just happened. Did you hack the system? How did you get in here? KJ has a good contract, so he's keepable. He doesn't have a bad... he doesn't have a bad contract, I guess, you know. I don't think that necessarily makes you keepable. A player right now that I will be very hesitant to trade is Champagnie, because he's one of the best catch and shoot shooters in the NBA. Like, we saw that statistic the other day. And also the amount of money he makes is, like, nothing. So, like, that's a player where it's like, yeah, that's one I would try to keep because his contract. I don't really think that way about Keldon necessarily. But yeah, he has a good contract. You know? Anyways, moving on.